Hey guys, welcome to what is going to be the first in a series of videos on basic shop skills. So the thing we're going to focus on today first is shop safety and safety equipment. So, before we get into this, a little bit about me. Who the hell am I, where have I been, and who am I to be telling you these things? My name is Doug Wolf. I am a blacksmith armor. I have 35 plus years as a metal worker, comprising of over 60,000 paid on-the-job hours. So I've spent my fair share of time in shops. I've done everything from vehicle prototype fabricating to ironworking and building buildings, and as a machinist. I even ran a company for several years doing nothing but making swords. So I know my way around metalwork a little bit. I graduated trade school in 1988 at the age of 17. I got my first metalworking job at a shop at 13 years old, at a job shop in Detroit, and I've been doing it pretty much my entire life since then. So, when I tell you certain things like, whatever you do, for the love of God, don't do this certain thing, believe me when I tell you there's a good reason for it. Unfortunately, I've been witness to, and on occasion victim of, several pretty serious industrial accidents, usually caused by somebody doing something extremely stupid. Which at some point in time, as we're discussing shop safety, I'll probably pass on a few of these tales, even though there's some of them you really don't want to hear. Some of them are pretty funny, some of them are pretty damn awful. And every single time it came from somebody doing something just plain stupid that they should not have been doing. Most times, something that they knew better than doing. So, hopefully we can avoid all of that by teaching you some simple basics. And, we'll start from the basics and we'll work our way all the way up as far as we can go. Any opportunity I have to show various different machine processes, various different types of welding, various different types of do's and don'ts about common everyday pieces of equipment that are laying around, and some things you don't always see, you don't always get your hands on. So we'll try to cover as much as we possibly can. So today we're going to start with the basics. Let's talk about personal protective equipment. The very first and most important piece of safety equipment that any person has is your brain. Please, for the love of God, engage your brain before you do something. Don't ever be in such of a rush that you don't stop for a few seconds, think about what you're doing, thinking about what you're about to do, and work through your steps before you actually get to doing something. Many times just a few seconds of forethought can save you, one, a lot of extra work if you screw something up, and two, sometimes some pretty grievous injuries because you just quite weren't paying enough attention just as you were about to get started. Maybe there was a frayed cable laying in a puddle of water that you're standing in just when you're about to flick the switch on a welder and didn't notice it because you were in such a rush until you stop for a second and look. Be aware of your environment, think about what you're doing, and look around. A little bit of thought can save you a lot of pain, both physically and mentally. Okay, the first thing I want to talk about is protective equipment. PPE, personal protective equipment, right? Otherwise known as safety gear. And safety gear starts with things that are as basic as the clothes that you wear into the shop, okay? There are a lot of people don't put too much thought on what they're going to wear when they're going to walk into a shop of any type of description, whether it's an auto shop, metal shop, wood shop, but it very much does bear thinking about because it can be very important. And we'll start from the ground up. Number one being your footwear. I have literally seen people walking into metal shops where cutting torches and all manner of other extremely dangerous pieces of machinery are being run, and they're walking in open-toed sandals. If you were to simply turn around too quick and kick the wrong thing, you could lose a toe, let alone have to go to the hospital for stitches and tetanus shots and things like this, just from wearing the wrong footwear. Don't do it, okay? Wear a good pair of sturdy boots. They don't have to be the most expensive boots in the world, but I will tell you, the more money you spend on a pair of boots, the more you're going to get out of them over time. Believe me when I tell you that. I'll do an entirely separate video just on work boots. It took me too long to learn this lesson, but if you can afford it, even if you can't afford it, if you can scrape the money together, spend good money on boots. But even the most basic pair of work boots that you can get from Payless shoe sources, something like that, will work. Make sure they're closed toe, good, as thick and sturdy as you can get them. Steel toes are great if you have them, or if you can get them. If you don't worry about it too much. There's not a lot you're going to do in a blacksmith shop that you're going to require steel toes. They are nice. Dropping a hammer on your foot sucks, but it's not a life-ending thing. We'll get into more about steel toes and stuff like that when we talk about I'll do a whole video just on boots. So, next thing is, pants, the clothes that you're wearing every day. When you walk in, don't wear nylon, rayon, any type of synthetic blend pants. They're flammable. You set them on fire, they melt. Plastic melts. It will melt to your skin, melt to your body, and you're going to lose a whole lot of skin when you go to the hospital. We were talking skin grafts, it's going to be really nasty. Don't do it. Basic cotton jeans. Don't wear thin pants like Dockers or slacks or you got laying around. Go get a pair of jeans, all right? The thicker the material, the safer you're going to be. From sparks, from grinding dust, from welding sparks, even spinning tools, right? I'm wearing the fire hose pants from Duluth Trading Company, the fire hose canvas pants. These have actually stopped a stone wheel grinder from cutting into my leg before. So even the pants that you wear can be protective equipment. So think about that. And from the waist up, typically when it's warm, you catch me in a cotton t-shirt. That's about it. Mostly what I wear. Again, no synthetic blend materials that can light on fire and melt to your skin. It's the most dangerous thing. Also, if you're wearing synthetic blends, sparks from grinders, sparks from welders, sparks from forging will shoot right through those. They'll melt right through it directly to your skin. Even a simple basic cotton t-shirt is a layer between you and the outside world. It'll at the very least stop sparks, okay? Also think about whatever you wear into the shop, into the forge, you're going to put holes in it, you're going to screw it up. So don't wear anything that you care about into the shop. Once you wear it in the shop, it's pretty much work clothes from that point on. When it's cold, typical cotton, long johns, and I'll put a shirt over that, and, maybe a cotton flannel or something. But notice the theme here, it's always cotton or wool, natural materials, right? Things that are not going to set on fire. If you have to wear a coat, I'm wearing a Carhartt, work jacket right now. It's very thick, cotton canvas material, sparks won't go through it, it's not easily set on fire. And because it's a cold day, I'm wearing obviously a knit hat. Again, important things to think about. This is not synthetic material. This is not your typical knitted acrylic yarn. This is wool, right? So if I'm shooting sparks at my head, I'm not going to set it on fire and have a bunch of plastic melt on my head. It's wool. This will resist sparks, will resist, easily being set on fire. So that's the first thing to think about is what you're wearing. And next we'll get into a little bit of basic personal protective equipment that you should have on you at all times. Always have these things around.